Welcome everyone to my second channel where we take a more behind the scenes and off the cuff look at stuff I do on my main channel, and that is this car right here. So my last Tavarish main channel video, I took this 2008 Holden SS Ute from Australia from the container to here, 1,000 miles away from the container, and we also did a lot of work. A lot of you in the comments have noticed a few things about this Ute in that video. Mainly that it seems to be a little hurt in the engine department. I mean, obviously it needs some body work, and there's some other odds and ends that I need to do. But a lot of you have said, hey, that engine looks like it might be blown. And I probably maybe sort of kind of agree with you. So in today's episode, I am going to check out if this engine is actually good, whether we can save it, what we're gonna do with the build on the next main channel video, and what we can do to fix a lot of the little issues in this car. But I want to take it on a shakedown run. And I'm not going to do another 1,000 miles or anything like that. I'm actually going to go about an hour and a half from here because the guys at NASCAR actually invited me out to the Daytona 500, the biggest race of the year. For me, it's a big deal because it's NASCAR. It's the organization that puts on the event. And they invited me out, and I figured I should take the most American car I have, which is an Australian pickup truck supercar mishmash with a Chevy badge that only was made in South Africa. So that's my idea.
It is powered by bald eagles.
It is powered by bald eagles and also a lot of oil. All right, it is the crack of dawn. The sun is kind of out. It's an overcast day today, which means that we may get rained out, but it's about an hour and 20 minutes with no traffic, but this is one of the biggest racing events in the entire world, so there's probably going to be some traffic. I think there's probably going to be like 120,000 people there. Also, the president is coming, so that's going to be good for traffic. So we're going to see how this thing does in traffic. We're going to see how this cruises, if we need to do anything, and if the engine is blown. Ooh, yeah. It does sound good though. Ooh. That's a smell. Tommy, what does it smell like?
Burnt oranges.
Burnt oranges. It's almost like a moldy smell. I mean, we have left this car alone for a bit, but yeah, I just turned the AC on, and I think something was in the vents. I mean, not anything like alive, but, well, not anything that used to be alive. Man, I really, really, really like this car. It's just an awesome cruiser, an awesome daily driver. We did have some oil smoke come in the cabin when we first started the car, and I know that it has some issues with the PCV system. I wager that is, it may be a small problem, or it may be a very, very big problem. I think at the end of this video, we're gonna figure out what's wrong, if anything, with that engine. Also, I just remembered that the last time I drove this car 1,000 miles, we had some pretty crazy rubbing coming from the back. And, well, I haven't fixed that yet, so over some bumps, we probably should see some more tire rubbing. The good thing about Florida is that the roads are actually fantastic. So we don't have potholes, but we are going on some highway, so we'll see what happens.
You also added some weight. That's me.
You know what? I actually thought about that. I was like, well, Tommy's going to be in the car, so maybe that's added weight. It'll weigh the car down. Tommy is as light as a feather, you know? He has been working out, and he is svelte, and a stiff breeze could knock him over. And number two is, last time I was doing this, I actually was carrying like some spare tires and my luggage and all that stuff in the back. So I think, honestly, our back end is probably a little bit higher. So maybe that should be okay, but I'm crossing my fingers because who knows, like we might just pop a tire on the way there. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing. I really hope that's not foreshadowing. Knock on, there's no wood in this car. So what you have to remember about a right-hand drive car, especially one from Australia, is that the stalks, like the wiper and the turn signal stalks, are reversed. So my right hand is doing the turning, well, the turn signals, it's more rubbing. And a lot of times when people drive right-hand drive for the first time, they forget and then they just hit the windshield wipers. So that's kind of like a newbie thing. If it does one thing really well, it's cruising. This cruises really, really, really well because we have that longer final drive ratio. And right now I'm doing about 80 miles an hour, which is speed limit-ish. And we are doing about 1,600 RPM. So this car is, so the engine's not really struggling all that much. But when we stop, there is an alarming amount of smoke that comes into the cabin. You can smell it. Those of you with smell-o-vision will know that already. But we're not going to let that hamper our day. Hopefully we don't get pulled over because there's a lot of explaining to do here in this car. So, but I think since we're going to a very American event and this car has a Chevy badge in the front and the back, I feel like it's all right. We're gonna go inside and I want to see what these cars look like, because for our Ute, I think we're gonna get some inspiration from what we're gonna see today. So in the theme of inspiration for this Ute build, I'm looking at these used tires. So they just used this for the Xfinity series, which ran yesterday. We're actually not in that series. Today is gonna be kind of the big boy Cup series with the new cars, but these are actually 5-lug wheels, and the guys over here tell me that these are $2,500 a set and they can use up to 12 sets during a race. So that's like 50 grand in tires per race, which is pretty crazy. But what I think we're gonna need on this build, I mean, we're definitely gonna need some sticky tires because, well, at least tires that don't rub, because I don't think these rub. Actually, you know what? They do. They do. They rub a little bit. And they say rubbing is racing. I don't think that's what they mean, though. All right, one thing I love about this event is that right before the race starts, like literally the race is starting in 45 minutes, where they're gonna have cars doing 200 miles an hour, less than an hour, and you have so many people just hanging out on the track, just checking it out, and we're gonna go on the track and see how big of a bank it is. So it's pretty extreme. And there are a lot of people here, but security, as you can imagine, is pretty tight.
Love your channel, brother.
Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. All these people are here, and it's going to be a really good day. Hopefully the weather is good enough for racing. I think it will be. Look how much of an incline this is. If you parked your car up there and you open the door, you'd fall out. So the president right now is doing a parade lap right in front of like 40 stock cars. We just had a flyover with some F-16s, and it's been a pretty American day. Also, we saw a bald eagle, so it's pretty crazy. My car to sound like that. So that was insane. These cars are going 200 miles an hour, 3 wide. There were crashes. It was absolutely mental. And I have a lot of ideas for our Ute. And when I get home tomorrow, in this video, you guys will see what's wrong with the Ute and how we can make it better, because I have a lot of plans. All right, we are back from the race, and I'm really excited because we got a V8 NASCAR motor in there. Kinda, this one is a little bit hurt, but I wanted to see what the problem was with this engine, because if you look at it, I mean, this is an LS-based engine. And when I say LS, a lot of you will already know what that means, but in case you don't, this is based on the Chevy small block platform, which was prevalent from like the 1950s on. It's their V8, it's 8 cylinders, naturally aspirated, and it has push rods. So instead of having like a cam at the top of the cylinder heads, the cam is actually in the block, and then it pushes little push rods like this, and then that interacts with the valves, and it does its thing, and it's really reliable, except for the fact that this one burns a lot of oil. When an engine burns a lot of oil, it could be a few things. Number one, the easy thing is a PCV valve, and that is positive crankcase ventilation. And what that means is that whenever combustion happens in an engine, there's a lot of pressures that build up inside the engine because you're creating combustion, there's suck, squeeze, bang, blow, there's stuff that happens inside the engine that needs to be released. In modern cars, you don't want to release that into the atmosphere, but since we have a modified automobile, then this was modified with what's known as a catch can. And this catches all the oil vapors when those pressures get put back into the intake. Now, I might be getting a little bit geeky here, but this system does not work. And it doesn't work because I think our problem is not the PCV system, but it is actually deeper in the engine, meaning that it either needs cylinder head work or it needs bottom end work. And what I'm gonna find out right now is to see what the engine is doing, and we're going to do a compression test, at least I hope so, and we're also going to do a visual check with a borescope, so we're going to go inside the cylinders to see what they look like. And when I say we, I mean Jack. Our shop dad Jack, because boy howdy does he love the 350 Chevy. He loves small block Chevys, and he knows what he's doing, and I don't.
Hey, so what we have here is an engine that is issue, so we're going to pull some plugs out and do a compression test to see if we can find out what's wrong.
Did you guys change the plugs on this car?
We did not.
Did not? Okay, so we haven't seen it. We don't know what it looks like.
I have no idea. Well, that one looks pretty good. No oil on it. It's not burned up too bad. Pretty clean. So we shall continue. That's the same. Not too bad. Pretty clean.
Now, do you know, is like this cylinder 1, 2, 3? How does it work on the LS motor?
Chevy is 13572468. Firing order 18436572. 8675309.
You know, I read an article that the person with that phone number got really mad in the 80s.
Again, that one is pretty clean looking.
Looking good.
Yep.
Maybe Freddie's wrong. Maybe this engine's awesome. All right, what do we got?
I would say this side is pretty good.
So this will help relieve some of the crankcase pressure by putting a catch can on there?
Yeah, it just kind of collects the oil.
So it's all there instead of... So how we drain that? Do you think that's full of oil?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's looked at it or not.
Oh. That's a side quest for you. What do you think you're going to find?
I think we'll find a little oil in here.
Hopefully it's not shiny.
The question is, how much?
What if it's hooked up to the horn?
We'll soon find out.
Oh, okay. Gross. Ooh.
Now, there's not a lot, but there is some.
Why does it look gross?
Oh, that's pretty full. Hey, high five.
How about a hug with no hands? Good thing that's quick and easy at the racetrack. You're up to go down the quarter mile. Calling Jack. Shop dad. You're up.
All right.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Let's see how much we have in here.
Oh.
I would say quite a bit.
So how do you, just for knowledge, whoa, look at that, it's gross. That's concerning. Very concerning, actually. I guess I was going to say, how do you clean that? You just put it back in?
Yeah, I mean, you could just get a rag and squeeze it out because you really can't clean it per se.
Is that, by the way, is that coolant? Or is that water?
It could be water.
Okay.
Condensation. Who knows when last time this was emptied.
Condensation?
Well, since we started at the back on this side,
Yeah, I was wondering why you gave yourself the challenging part.
it'll be the front one that's the issue.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, if I would have started at the front one, it'd be the back one.
I don't think you told everyone what your favorite hobby is, besides working on cars all the time here with us.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is what you've been looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That one has an issue.
You could tell.
That's a lot of carbon, big difference.
You could tell.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Job well done.
we will definitely be checking that cylinder.
About your favorite hobby. I don't think you've told anyone what you like to do besides working on cars with us.
Go camping.
Camping? Yep.
Yep.
And something with the lake?
Drinking.
Okay.
Oh.
What about fishing?
Yeah, that too.
Fishing.
Camping, drinking, and fishing. All in that order, kind of, sort of. So this is cylinder number 6.
That one looks, is that a little wet? Or no?
No.
No, that's dry. Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay.
That was pretty good too.
You're gonna like rotaries one day, I could tell. I'm gonna have you drive the RX-8. You're gonna love it. Do you like the smell of burning oil?
Yes.
Perfect.
And rubber.
Awesome.
That one's good too. I'll crank it and you watch the numbers.
All right. Sweet. Hey, did you forget something?
Take the steering wheel.
Here you go, buddy.
Found it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Ooh, she's red.
Oh.
So if I brought this to you, what does that mean?
That means we'd be taking the engine apart to see what's going on.
So you didn't really get too excited when we were talking about fishing, but
Well-
you could let the audience know that.
I do like it. I used to do it, not professionally, but was in the club for a number of years, and actually have one hanging on my wall.
All right, so if you have one, that means it's not a fish story. That means it's real.
It's real.
So is it over 8 pounds?
Yes.
9 pounds?
Yes.
You got something over 10 pounds?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
All right, how many pounds?
11 and a half.
Man, congrats, dude. That's epic.
It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I've never caught anything over 7.
That's a nice size.
So maybe you took the last one. Big difference. Although it's barely green. Barely green.
Yeah, that's 135.
I'm curious. Can we do one more and see if it's close to that number too?
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, what's the miles? Does it show up?
Yep. 175.
Okay.
Oh, now this is kilometers.
Oh, okay. So you divide by 1.6. So wherever that is.
Oh,
This one's higher.
This one's Yeah, 155. The good news is I got Tommy with the horn. Second good news is I found the steering wheel. It's on the right-hand side.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cylinder number 8.
That's a little crusty. That's a little crusty and or dusty.
And all the rest look like that.
Okay, so that's oil right here, right? So if you take a look at that, and this I believe is, I mean, would this be lean?
It doesn't look that bad. They're all the same.
Okay.
That's rust.
No, this is honestly not terrible. This is terrible. So I'm guessing this would be our bad guy.
But wait, there's more.
Compression.
Okay.
Number 8.
60.
60.
Yikes.
Yeah.
160?
No.
What about the other ones?
135, 155.
Okay, so
When you get
compression
3.
test, you usually want 10% variance maximum between cylinders. 60 is a lot of variance. So what do you think the issue with this guy?
Well, I think we get the bore scope
Okay. All right.
and take a peek down there and see
Okay.
what we can see.
Okay. So I think this is why she's spitting.
Do you want my 2 cents?
What are your 2 cents?
That's just Vegemite.
Oh, it's just Vegemite.
Yeah.
That's right. They do put those in engines, and that is, it's what engines crave.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we will put a borescope down here, and then we will see what happened. There's a lot that happened here. Let's turn this guy on. And
Is this from your fishing boat, Jack?
no,
So you could find the fish?
This is. I didn't know I was getting a colonoscopy today.
no, it's a colonic. There's water that shoots out of there. It just clears you out. Now, let us take a look over here.
See if I can find the hole.
If I had a nickel for every time. All right.
What are we seeing?
That is the spark plug hole, and then we're gonna shove this right down in there. We're gonna shove this right down in there. Jack, you're making me look bad. Come on, you're gonna shove this right down. Oh, okay. We are. That's too much. So if we turn to the side, right? So that is, yeah, the piston's all the way up. I don't like that. That's I don't think that's metal, but I think that's all oil.
Yeah.
That's all oil and carbon build. I mean, you can look at the carbon buildup on that. Whoa, that's
Ooh.
look at that valve. That's chewed up.
Wow.
Well, is it chewed up or is that
That's-
just all the buildup?
No, that's chewed up because that looks like metal. That looks.
That's bad, guys.
That is bad.
Yeah, so that's probably why we have 60 psi of pressure, because this looks all clean.
Yeah.
And that's chewed up. You know what could have happened? It could have burned up something in the cylinder, and a spark plug could have, just could have
Grenaded and
Grenaded.
I mean, because these don't look like they're super old.
Yeah. So we could lower this down, like lower the piston down. If you want to bump it, let me just get this out. Okay. Good. If we go down a little bit, like, wow, that's
that's-
crunchy.
That's what we've seen before.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's not good at all. That is a mangled valve. So if it's mangled like that, that means metal definitely went into the cylinder walls, and that makes sense because the way that the rings work in a piston engine is that the rings basically seal up the cylinder, but they also have an oil control ring, and they allow the oil to not go into the combustion process. It's not perfect. There still is some oil that seeps in, but that's normal. This is not normal because when you have this amount of oil, it gets combusted. It also lowers the octane of the actual combustion process, so you're not getting the power that you need. But when that happens, the pressure leaks through the cylinder liner, because now that's like gouged to crap. Oil goes through, and you have fuel in your oil, you have it just makes everything really, really bad. So this would need at least a cylinder rehoning. So what they do is they take the cylinder liner and they basically bore it out just a little bit. They put oversized pistons and rings in there to make sure that everything fits. And then we would need to go through the head. So it needs a new engine. That's basically it. Like the engine on this is very tired, even though it'll do 100 miles an hour for 14 hours, but the engine is very tired, and it's not great news because LS engines, the engines that this is based on, they have been going up in price quite a bit over the last few years. And you used to be able to get these at a junkyard, maybe like a 6.2 from a truck or a van for like $500. Can't do that anymore. I think now these engines, especially the performance versions, they're like $5,000. This needs to be naturally aspirated because the engines that we heard yesterday going at 8,500 RPM around the track, those are naturally aspirated. They sound great. They have really, really good throttle response. And I think that if you put a supercharger or a turbo, it's just gonna make the car a little more leery and undrivable. So we have to find a good version of an engine that goes in this car, and we're definitely going to put some more power into it. So if you or anyone you know is selling an LS that has been lightly breathed on and has really good reliability, I don't want anything that has been, through a junkyard or, something that we need to rebuild anyway. Something that's like almost new or new, then let me know. Let me know in the comments. So if you guys don't know, this Ute is actually going to be a vehicle for giving to somebody that very much deserves it. This is going to be given away at an event called Outback in the Midwest. It's being put on by my friend Travis Bell, and we're going to give this car away, and everybody that comes to the show is eligible to win. I think that they have a sort of raffle or a giveaway or something there, and all the proceeds from this car, which should be pretty good, are going to go to a kid named Tyler Baldridge, and I've made friends with him. He's an awesome kid. We actually made a GoFundMe for him, and that's going to be in the link in the video description below. And we've gotten him some money, and his family is just overjoyed, and he deserves every single bit of it. So let's make this guy's life. Let's make his dreams come true. And let's also make a really cool Ute, and that's going to be whatever we find for this truck is going to be in the next main channel video on this truck. And I'm really excited, but I'm also really scared because, man, I didn't want the engine to be blown. That sucks.
Happens.
It's okay. All right, we gotta build it better and wrench every day. We got our work cut out for us. All right, let's do it.